Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty interesting stuff to go and talk about over here, where it does go to show that the community, the people, even Forbes themselves are kind of calling up the Xbox itself. Now, as we kind of know, it's kind of been like kind of a somewhat being the death type concept, where the PlayStation actually has had big winners and good games and everything coming out these past few months, past few years. And while still, the Xbox has had basically nothing throughout this holiday season. Now, this is not a new topic or new idea or new thought, but I kind of want to go and kind of spread this up a little bit more, because now with God of War getting some of the best reviews we've seen in a video game in quite some time, and all honesty will probably end up being one of the game of the years, if not the game of the year, it once again is just highlighting on how stressful Xbox must be, and kind of putting this huge weight on their shoulders for some big games that may not actually be able to go and carry the weight they need. Now that kind of means more into some of the upcoming games such as Starfield. And well, we've had and played games like Skyrim or Fallout, and they are some of my favorite game series. But a lot of folks now are kind of calling out the idea in concept and just kind of worried about the future of Xbox, because what if it actually doesn't come in as clutch as we all kind of go and expect it? So, if you guys want to give your thoughts throughout this video, let me know down below, and as well make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. You have the Amazon links down below, we have the Target links down below, and the signups and all of that good stuff, and let's dive into the video. So we actually have a very nifty article over here from Paul himself saying, the PlayStation is still just a hit machine, making those really good exclusives and even more good exclusives such as, Final Fantasy 16, Forspoken, and a few other ones coming out soon, while the Xbox can't even start even catching up. And this is very intriguing to go and see. So basically, God of War, as you guys know, is coming out, and the reviews have been fantastic. It's done the almost impossible. It's arrived and matched and astronomically high scores of God of War 2018 and basically was a 94 on Metacritic. So a rarefied air in the video game space where only a few series have ever been reached. And I think IGN put a 10 out of 10 and added to their list of only like 30 or 40 games from the past like 30 years. And you guys can kind of tell God of War Ragnarok is something special. It is in the latest in a long series of absolute stellar first-party exclusive games on PlayStation, which I think is kind of true. Like, there's been a lot of good games, and I've been pretty happy with my PlayStation so far. Now, obviously, do I wish there was a few different changes and things a little bit better, maybe better features, a Game Pass thing for PS Plus? Absolutely. But I do think most people would agree the single-player games over here, not that bad. So you have Uncharted series, you have The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 and the remake, you have Horizon Zero Dawn, you have Forbidden West, you have Spider-Man, which has been doing great with Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, which also did really good with their PS5 update, Bloodborne, and as well the two God of War games, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, and there actually is games coming out. Now, obviously, Game Pass might be maybe buying some games, but in terms of pure PlayStation Xbox, these have been going good. While basically for Microsoft's Xbox, which excelling in the subscription value space with Microsoft Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, has still just not yet to match the same level of first party. Now, once again, this is also kind of obvious because that's just kind of the big selling points. PlayStation has good exclusives, and then Xbox has Game Pass for good value. So in theory, it's kind of a nice balance. If you have a PS5 and a PC or a PS5 and Xbox, you get both, best of both worlds. But the one big thing is that they're almost not even starting to attempt this. Like, they basically don't have that many huge games in the works. There's a lot of games that are basically lacking, and the single-player genre is just kind of being a little bit more on the chiller side. So they went an entire generation without many meaningful exclusive titles. And they'd also argue that none of the level of Sony's offerings, which I would also probably agree on. Now, we had some games like God of War. Not bad, but it was very mid-tier. Same thing with like Halo Infinite. I'll be honest, campaign was really bad. Multiplayer, it was Halo. It could have been better, but it's whatever. I do think Forza though was probably one of the best games out there, and that one probably honestly God stands in its own its own kind of lane. It's actually really good. Really good multiplayer experience. That's something that PlayStation can offer, and the multiplayer experience with Game Pass made it even better. And that's really what Xbox should be focusing more on. Really good multiplayer experience type games like that. So think like party games or other, like say like Party Animals, really good example. Or think games like, like a Mario Party. Obviously Mario can't be on Xbox, but a game similar like that where you have all your buddies on Xbox Game Pass together and playing, and that's what Xbox should be pushing for. But at least they're a $1 trillion company with Microsoft's backing. They should also be having really good single player games too as well. And that's a big thing, is that Microsoft has even recognized this problem. We talked about it later on, past week or so, saying that they addressed it. It was kind of a basic month. Maybe the next few months. But then basically at the same time, they've also just been buying up everything. But the one thing is, you can't go and buy up everything in the world. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. It's really just dumb at the end of the day. And so far, none of the games have actually even come out. Like, we also have Starfield that's gotten delayed. We've had Redfall that's gotten delayed. Now, I'm not harping on them. I'm going to try them. I hope I love them. I hope these games are phenomenal because I want good games. I want good competition. But so far, a lot of people are skeptical and just assuming Xbox is going to be making some good move. So basically, Microsoft's best exclusive this genre so far has been another Forza game, which I would agree. And that was supposed to be a massive flash of exclusive. Halo Infinite must have been underwhelmed and underperformed. Also true. Calling into question the overall future of the franchise as it struggles to fix what ails it is a year later. So now we're just 2 years into the console generation, and where are we? And I kind of agree. Sony just put out another game of generation contender and remastered and released one of their last gen mega hits, Last of Us Remake, which I also played, was really good, and I'm sure God of War is going to be fantastic. But most Xbox exclusive have come and gone without much fanfare, if not even controversy. And I do agree, because Halo Infinite is kind of a joke. Like, a lot of people are saying the game was awful, they didn't launch with Forge mode, they didn't even have simple co-op for the campaign, which is one of the big staples of Halo. Like, it just was awful. And like, they had weird battle pass systems, and just no one was happy with the overall system. It's still not fixed. So this current scenario, it's hard to understate that just how much pressure there is on Starfield to perform here. And that's why I'm a little bit worried, because I'm not sure if Starfield will be able to pull it off. I love Skyrim, I love, Fallout, but basically Bethesda's new space RPG that can maybe finally be this mega space entry and could be in a big league of its own is, well, kind of looking somewhat sketchy. So they go say it does seem somewhat, naturally likely if this performs equivalent to the mainline Fallout in Elder Scrolls games. So it's kind of stands by the Bethesda standard, it might be doing phenomenal. And as well, they also do have a new Elder Scrolls game in the work, and that's probably gonna be a bajillion years down the road though. But as they mentioned, you can see the problem here. This process has been exceptionally slow, and if you guys know games on Skyrim, there's gonna be bugs and issues on launch and everything in between. It's not really good, It's not really good. So, yeah, I'm kind of skeptical. Mainly because, if you can have mods and have the modders go make the game beautiful, what they did with Fallout and Skyrim, yeah, it's gonna be great, but we may have to wait another few years. And I also know Microsoft's been trying to go and sell microtransactions, say in Minecraft. And with that, no one wants to really pay money to make a game better when the game should be phenomenal at launch. And even then, after Starfield comes out, what's kind of next? They do have Starfield, and that'll probably be a fun, maybe for a week or so. But after that, that doesn't seem like a game that'll have a longevity for the next 6 months or a year. It really does suck. So, what's next then? They also do have the Forza Motorsports, but if that's also a very big niche game, I would say Forza Horizon, that's everyone can play. Arcades, they're fun. If you like serious games, you can still take it seriously. If you like fun, you can play with your buds. But I feel like motorsports are very hardcore and very niche. So at this point, we have a really hardcore RPG, which is going to be great. I hope the game's awesome. I'm going to play it. And then they also have these other filler multiplayer game, which is fine. But what else? What else? You have games like God of War that's going to be selling like hotcakes. You have games like Final Fantasy 16 with a huge long-term multi-year industry behind it. So then what is next? So basically, as they can kind of go and say, you could see the problem. This process has been exceptionally slow, and we're likely to get through almost another half generation before Microsoft starts putting points on the board. Meanwhile, Sony has Spider-Man and Wolverine games coming from Insomniac, and that should be coming from 2023, unless there's any delays. We haven't seen official announce dates. So guess what? Those two games alone, I'd probably rather play both Spider-Man and Wolverine than, honest to God, Starfield. Now, some folks might go and disagree or whatever, that's totally fine. I'll probably play all three. I'm not, trying to pick and choose. But it just kind of goes to show that there's huge games lined up, plus games like Final Fantasy 16 as well. And on top of that, too, there's other things like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studios are on the works, too, as well. And there's there is other big stuff like Perfect Dark, which might be okay, or Fable, which I really want to play. But at the end of the day, it just kind of seems like Xbox has still been slacking. And it's kind of just a big issue that keeps on coming up. And it's getting a little bit more attention as of today because it just goes and makes sense. So basically, even Phil Spencer's hey, he understands that people are frustrated. If you want to keep people on Game Pass, you need to keep people on Game Pass. But at the end of the day, it just is you need something there. You need it. You need people who want to play your games. And if you're going to spend $80 billion with Bethesda and Activision, guess what? You need to make that money back. And it just doesn't seem like Xbox has really taken this seriously. And we almost never see these big game companies not have something for the holiday season. And this really has been a big struggle that's been brought up 2 or 3 different times, even on my own videos and other people in the kind of gaming sphere and industry. So I want to hear your thoughts. Are you guys Xbox users or PC Game Pass users? Have you been disappointed? I'm a little bit sad. I'll probably end up making sure my Xbox Game Pass is gonzo in January until the next upcoming big games come out. Maybe whenever Forza Motorsport comes out, I'll go play that. But it is really just disappointing because I want games. I don't really care about the console exclusives or battles too much. I just want to make sure both PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox are all having a good time and making games that we all actually want to go and play. And so far, it seems like Xbox has been really slacking, and PlayStation's definitely taken over like the king of the hill. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. The Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller. We also do have the giveaway going on too as well, Twitter, Twitch, and all that type of stuff too. And same with the Amazon links for the God of War. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below.